And that's why I said fish.
Fish.
Oh, hi there. Welcome back to Cooking with Carbon. I hope you've had a lovely few months since our last advertisement. Now, what is it called? A thing where you film people. Show, I believe is the word. It's in the English language. I should know it.
No.
Welcome back. We're happy you're back with us again. Today, I am hosting, of course, Cooking with Carbon. Nicholas, unfortunately, our host from last time, couldn't be with us. But instead, I have the pleasure of having Merve being the host with us today. You may remember Merve from last time when she was cooking the Turkish palau, which is basically butter with rice.
No, it's very hard to make. It's a very special dish.
In case there's a shortage of butter, it's very hard to make. But yes, Merve is joining us as a co-host today. And you notice the two lovely people here on the sides. Today we are Cooking with Carbon with the International Committee. And over to my left, we have Mikkel, who is one of the founding members of International Committee. Mikkel, who the hell are you? What do you do?
Well, I have been doing a lot of political stuff in PF, and I just happened to be there when it was founded, and it's been a lovely ride. So I haven't left.
You haven't left yet. That's good. That's why you're still here. So what is your job at International Committee?
Well, I could say I'm basically like a bit of the old man remembering back in my day, but there's also I'm doing the practical stuff like what we're doing here and stuff like that.
Very good. So old man, practical stuff.
Yeah.
It's a position. And over here we have, I want to say Charlotte for some reason. That's not your name.
It's
your
not.
Your name is actually, it's not Barbara either, is it?
No, it's not.
No, it's Claudia.
Yes.
Hi, Claudia.
Correct. Hi, Trent.
Hi. Speaking of old. Claudia, welcome. And you're also an international committee in some capacity. What do you do there?
I joined International Committee because I am CAPS for General Engineering, and that's the bachelor study line that's 50% international. And I believe that joining an international committee would serve my folks best business.
Yeah, serve your folks the best business.
Yes.
You're creating an international mafia, is what that sounds like, but that's fine. We need more of those. Right? Fantastic. But you're also wearing a particular shirt today, which you can't really see under the apron.
You can see it.
Yeah, CAPS. You are a CAPS person.
Yes.
What does a CAPS person do?
CAPS stands for Coordinator of the Bachelor Study Start. We basically make sure that the new bachelor students have a great study start, that they feel like at DTU like home.
Lovely. Yes, worth the round. Yes, so CAPS do a lot of the intro study start as well, like the MSc people whom I would know more than that. Very good. Okay, you two are both representing two different countries today. We've got Denmark in the left-hand corner over here, and you're making what for us?
Yeah, I'm basically making the Danish version of fish and chips, you could say. We're frying some plaice. It's flat fish with red spots. It's called 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐻𝑚𝐷 in Danish, which definitely means red spots.
Can you pronounce again?
𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐻𝑚𝐷. Red spots. And then we're gonna cook some potatoes and make some proper sauce to it.
And what kind of sauce is that?
It is an up-baked parsley sauce.
Parsley sauce.
Yeah.
Parsley sauce.
It's a cousin of the very famous Danish brown sauce.
Parsley, though, it's normally what you would have as a garnish on a piece of meat. And that's the thing, like when you go to a restaurant, they garnish it with parsley and then you throw it out before you eat it.
You can also use it in a lot of dishes. Italy is very famous for just dumping a shit ton of parsley in everything.
Interesting. Okay, don't go to Italy. Got that on my task. Parsley.
There are some Italians in our audience, so just be careful about Italian.
The way we judge if we're going too far is when they start coming over attacking us. But okay, so fantastic. And it's called fiskefilet, right?
Yeah.
In Danish, or fish fillets.
Fish fillet, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, and over in the right-hand corner, we've got Barbara Claudia is making what? From where?
I am making a Hungarian dish with a Polish twist. It's called Lecho. It's basically based on squash and some sausages and chopped tomatoes. And apart from that, you can add basically anything that fits your taste. Yeah.
You call it something else you call it garbage dish?
Yes, we call it, in Poland, we call it garbage dish. No offense to my Hungarian brothers and sisters. We call it garbage dish because it's a dish that you can make basically out of items you have in a fridge already.
It's lovely they just made that into a name. That's what I'm saying. Just throw something in a pot.
Yeah, of course.
But,
Out
okay.
me, out me.
Out V. She's lost language. All right. Okay, Mikkel,
Yeah. So
let's get started. Shall we?
let us. First, we're gonna start by peeling these potatoes. I know.
Peel potatoes.
Yes, very exciting. But
Yeah.
it's a part of very many Danish dishes.
Okay, so you're gonna peel some potatoes.
Yeah.
First of all, we're gonna get the bag open. It's a bit harder than you think. Over here, you're doing what?
I am gonna start frying the sausages and chop the squash.
Chopping, as you can see, cooking show going off to a ripping start. We're chopping and peeling. You're fucking welcome. This is great television, I know.
Yes.
But you're peeling some potatoes. That's fantastic. And you're chopping some stuff. Wonderful.
Yeah. Claudia, did you make the bread on?
Oh
On your
yeah, the bread you can see on the table is homemade bread that I made together with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
A bit of a personal taste to it.
Yeah. But what is the difference of this bread from normal bread that we buy from the market?
Well, first off, it's homemade.
Yeah.
Everyone should know the difference between the homemade bread and there's sausages running away. Everyone should know difference between a homemade bread. Stop running. And a store-made bread. It always stays fresh longer.
Yeah.
And you can add a personal touch to it if you like some seeds, some pumpkin seeds, some sunflower seeds, anything basically. This one is plain without seeds because that's how I like it the most with Lecho.
Yeah.
All right, so Mikkel, while we're peeling potatoes,
Yeah.
tell me a bit more about International Committee. You guys are called International Committee, but how am I to understand international in that context? Because you're Danish.
Yes.
So what does it mean to be an international committee then?
It's basically we started just like, hey, we're gonna find out what. PF, we had some trouble with like finding out just what the international people wanted, and so it's just like a forum where we could actually get to hear what's actually going on in the international part of DTU, because we are pretty well off in the bachelor in the Danish department, but we had actually no clue about the other part of DTU.
Right, the other part of DTU.
Yeah.
The lost lands of international people.
Exactly.
Or what? Yeah. Okay.
And right, since we are almost finished speaking. Yeah, and then we just like, okay, there they are. And we just
Oh.
Okay. In the dead side, we just finished. Okay, Claudia, what you are doing right now?
I am slicing the squash to make it peel easier and remove the seeds if they're too big. Usually the squash I get in Denmark does not have too big of seeds, so they can just go in.
Yeah.
It's enough that you peel it and then dice it in the slices are like around centimeter thick.
Yeah.
So some of them will fall apart while simmering, and some of them will keep their shape. So it has a nice structure to it.
Yeah. So you just cut everything
Yeah.
and put in the same time.
Basically, yes. It's
easy.
It's a very easy, not very requiring dish, especially for the students. It requires one pot, one plate, a cutting board, and a knife. That's it. Not too many dishes to do afterwards. And you can just throw in what you have.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like
because I'm gonna use this water later.
lazy food also.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Great, so we're doing water stuff.
Yeah.
This is even better than rice and fucking butter. We're gonna put more waters in the potatoes.
Yes.
Here. Very good. I don't know what kind of cucumber Claudia's talking about over there. What kind of mutant cucumber do they have in Poland that has seeds in it? Squash.
No, it's squash. I reckon the cucumbers, like the squash in Poland, it grows a bit bigger, and therefore the seeds are a bit thicker, and like you really notice them if you put them in the dish. Here, it's not the case.
Okay.
By the way, in Turkey they have seeds too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's problematic not to have seeds, right?
I'm not saying Danish is crappy weather for growing stuff.
Or maybe, Denmark just GMOs the squashes. I don't know.
Maybe.
Can you pass me the salt over there?
Salt?
Of
Yeah,
course.
sure.
Thank you so much. So these dishes, as always with Cooking with Carbon, are supposed to be super cheap to make. So the whole idea behind our concept, for those who don't really know, is that we want to show you guys some recipes that are not just pasta and ketchup, right? And that you can cook from all around the world that actually taste pretty damn good. So these two dishes, I think, have a pretty low basic cost, right? Mikkel, how much does yours cost roughly to make?
Roughly per serving, around 30 krona.
30 crowns.
Yeah.
It's not bad for some fish and some potatoes.
No, exactly when fish is actually quite expensive, usually.
Yeah, fish is normally expensive, right?
Actually, only the fish are 30 krona, more than 30 krona, the one box. So when I was buying, I was like, okay. So
But you're not
sure
eating
we
all
can-
the fish by yourself, right? You're splitting it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know how much fish you eat.
It's usually 2 persons.
2 people, okay, for that.
Okay.
I get it. And how much does yours cost roughly?
Oh God, you're asking me very difficult questions.
I know numbers. You're an engineer. What a terrible thing.
Since it's a dish based on your preferences, so it's totally up to you how much it costs. But the base for the dish, squash, the sausages, and the chopped tomatoes shouldn't be more than 15 kroner per serving.
15 crown per serving. Okay, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
See, I think this in Denmark, right? I don't know if you've come across this. You know what this is. Like, this is kind of like a Hungarian Polish.
Yeah.
Hungolish. It is like a Hungolish bixamil.
Yeah.
Like a. In Australia, you call this like bubble and squeak. It's leftover crap from the night before and the week before that you're whacking a pot and making some.
Whatever
Yeah.
went into the trap, right?
The trap.
Yeah.
That is racist. Into the trap. We don't always catch our food in Australia. Sometimes we have to grow it and kill it. No, yeah. So it's pretty cheap to make. So we will have recipes on our Facebook page or the Facebook event when this is done, so you can always follow it up. We actually need to share the previous recipes, I just realized, from the other one. So we'll do that too. We actually
Well done, Trent. Well
have one of our old chefs in the audience. You can pan over and see him if you. I don't know if you can turn around, but there he is. How you doing? The other people, yeah, I don't know. Who are you? Welcome to Cooking with Carbon. Very good. Okay, so you're still chopping. That's great.
Yeah.
We are graduating from potatoes to.
Yes, now we need to get the fish going, of course. So I'm just setting up for the fish supply line.
The fish supply line.
Yes.
Am I going to get a job here?
You might. Right now, I'm just like because it's like a 3-step process to get the good crumbing of the fish. First, there's flour, and next there's just some eggs.
Uh-huh.
You just like scramble with
Flour and eggs.
flour and eggs, and
Oh.
then the breadcrumbs called rasp. And actually, the flour is optional, but it does give it a more crunchy texture.
Okay, so should I mix an egg?
No, I'll actually do this myself.
Fine. Fine, Mikkel. I'll just step back here and keep hosting.
Yeah, we are still cutting the
Squash.
trash. Yeah.
How are you handling that knife?
Me?
That one.
Which one? That one?
Oh, are you calling me out because I'm a lefty?
No, I mean, that was not it. It was more you taking the knife and
Maybe-
then grabbing the stuff off it like this, which freaked me out.
Maybe I should.
I did not grab the knife. No.
Yeah. Maybe I should be the one who's scared of this, you know? I'm just standing next to her.
Exactly. But okay, you're doing some breading. Fantastic. So I wanted to ask you a bit about your internationality again, right?
Yes.
We didn't quite finish our conversation there. You said it was something to do with getting the international's needs met But I understand from you guys, you also have an integration goal as well, right?
Yes.
It's not just about saying, hey, here's international students, they need better things.
Yeah. So like
It's something else too, right?
The end goal, if you could call it that, is basically that we want to reduce it to so we only have students at DTU. Some of them happen to be international, and instead of having these two very distinct groups that are quite different, we actually just want to be one big happy family.
It's funny because one of the things that I think is weird, right, is when we talk about Danes and internationals. You say there's two groups that are different, eh?
Yeah.
Like one group's different than the other group, but the other group is inherently different from itself as well.
Yes.
It's a false split that we make, isn't it?
Of course.
Danish and international, because international is not one fucking group of people. No. Like Turkish and Polish and Hungarian and Molish and fucking Russian and Greek and Italian, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, okay. And how many people you got members right now?
Oh, we got, I think, 7 people at the moment.
7.
Yeah, we suffered a great losses under Corona. We used to, I think we could feel up to 18 at our highest point.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to get some recruitments up for you
yes,
guys. Yeah.
Please
so if you want to be
join.
part of the international committee, we'll tell you how to do that afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, we have a similar goal to Carbon as well, I think. Right? You guys want to create a campus that looks at internationalization as a concept rather than a description of people.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that. Which is why I have brought ketchup to put on your fish.
That's rather rude.
Because we're all about looking at people's different needs, right? My need as an international is to put ketchup on my fish. So I'm just going to sit that there, right? Because it's a wonderful, look at that beautiful red ruby color, full of sugar and other things, like possibly tomatoes.
I thought you said the point of the show was to show people that we don't have to eat pasta and ketchup all the time.
That's right, but fish and ketchup is not pasta and ketchup. So your point is mute.
Yeah.
Come on, pasta and ketchup. I cannot hear that.
Yeah.
That was the Italian in the audience having a heart attack from the word ketchup. And pasta, for that sake. Well,
but Trent, if you really want ketchup on your fish, may I recommend you for the potatoes instead as an alternative to the sauce?
No, I'm adamant for the fish. Absolutely freaking adamant. Yep. Feel free to take a seat, guys. We're live, but no one cares. Or just stand around, it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I would like to ask what is CAPS, because I really wonder when I see it. I never heard about it.
You guys have a intro week and you have buddies, right?
Yeah.
So in Bachelor Study Start, we have people that are called vectors, which is a very catchy name because what does a vector do in math?
I don't know. I didn't study math.
It points into a direction, right? And that's what our people do. And CAPS is people that coordinate vectors and that make sure that they are prepared for the study start, that they are well trained in various stuff like first aid.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a first aid course this coming week, so it's gonna be exciting. And we just do the whole work from behind the scenes, so that the new students that come to DTU in August, they have the best study start ever.
Yeah.
And I think we're done with the squash.
Yeah, finally we are done.
Yeah.
And now what we will do next?
We will chop up some peppers.
Yay!
More chopping over here.
Yes, yes.
Great.
We have some bell peppers in all in 3 colors.
Actually,
and,
the paprika and it's coming from Hungarian. So the other languages. Yeah. Just fun fact. Okay.
And some snack peppers.
Yeah.
We're just gonna chop them up. Remove the seeds.
Yeah. But when we are chopping, it should be exactly that size, or it can be bigger.
A bit smaller because pepper does not fall apart the way squash does. So it can still add some nice structure. It just doesn't have to be as big as squash is.
Yeah. Yeah. How is it looking?
Yeah,
those
it looks
size?
great. It looks great.
I'm doing great.
You're nailing it.
Yes, that chopping can be difficult.
Yeah.
I heard walking's also slightly hard.
It's
But,
more difficult than making rice, you know?
That's true. But remember next time to invest in some fireworks. But great. So we're going back to you. We're just waiting for what now? The
Yeah.
water to boil, I guess.
Yes.
So we don't want the potatoes to be ready before the fish, do we?
No,
No.
it's actually quite important they're not. Because normally you could just like, if you had 3, it wouldn't really be that big of a problem. But since we have 2, it's actually, we need the fish to be done before the potatoes. Otherwise we can't proceed with the sauce.
Right.
So-
And the sauce was parsley.
Parsley sauce, yes. We're gonna bake up a sauce.
What is baking up a sauce? I thought you had, like, is that an oven? We don't have an oven.
No. You have to bake it up in a pan.
Oh. Learning all these different. I think in Danish you're saying like opbakt, right?
Yes.
Like baked up is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't know what that. That's called a roux, right? Any French people around? Hey, Morgan. Is it called a roux when you use flour and butter? A roux?
What?
Roux. Riz. Flour,
Maybe-
butter, make a sauce.
Maybe you're butchering the name.
I'll get this.
No.
No, she's complete. Anyway, it's butter and flour, right?
Yes.
And then you mix it with parsley. Yeah?
There's actually a little bit more to it. Because we take a little bit of butter and flour, and then the trick here is that we're actually going to take some of the water from the potatoes, which is going to have a lot of taste from the potatoes, and use that to add gradually. So you,
Oh, okay, because you use the starch from the potatoes that help thicken? So like pasta water, right?
yeah, you could almost,
Just with potatoes.
yeah.
And a little
And,
bit of ketchup in the end. Yeah.
And then we add a little bit of milk. You can actually vary it depending on how much you how heavy you want the sauce.
Uh-huh.
If you want it like really heavy, like Danish Christmas evening, you're gonna use cream. Here we have a good like middle ground, sweet milk, and you can go all the way down to just like regular milk.
So full cream milk.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sweet. I always make that mistake too. Sweet
sweet milk.
milk. I thought it was strange. If you ever come to Denmark from an English-speaking country, at least, and you hear the term sweet milk, you think someone's put sugar in the milk,
Yeah, no.
right? Because it's just, you'd say full cream milk instead of anything. But yeah, anyway, just a little bit of language fun there, people.
We are still chopping.
Don't even get me started about the dairy alley in Danish supermarkets.
Dairy. Now, let's not Danish bash, but let's definitely talk about how terrible the dairy alley is. What's going on with that dairy alley?
A what?
What's going on with the dairy alley? What do you not like about the dairy alley?
No, it's. I mean, as an international, it was super confusing for me to find milk, because you know you have
People
all
are nodding.
those
Okay.
kinds of milk like mini milk, let milk, soul milk, etc. You also have A38, and a whole bunch of like 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐵 milk, and you know. Once my mom bought 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐵 milk and put it in her coffee, that was she did not appreciate that.
Do not do that. No.
I mean, you don't like choice, is what you're saying.
No.
That's what I'm hearing,
I
Barbara.
love the choices, but if all that things are sold in the same box, it might be confusing for you
So
when
in
you're
Poland,
like
they have them
the
in different shapes, or what?
like you know you have
𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐵 milk is shaped like a bear.
no the milk is actually sold in plastic bottles.
Okay, I can recognize
So,
that,
like-
for sure. Yeah.
And you know you can't translate the names like straightforward to like see, okay, this product is, I don't know, kefir or something. So it just takes a lot of error and trials.
But that's the fun thing, isn't it? Going to a foreign country and walking through a supermarket aisle. I think that's like one of the funnest things to do when you go traveling, or even when you're just in Denmark for the first time, is just go through and like try and pick out what shit is and see what's different. But also speaking of like accidentally tricking people, or your mom didn't do that, but I tricked someone once. I was when I was studying at Rook, and I had a friend over for coffee, right? So we made a coffee with, his name was Wazir, and he wanted milk in it. So I put milk in it, and for some reason I had some capers, you know, those small, what's it called? What's sundel? What's sundel?
Oh.
Yeah, capers. We know what capers are, right?
Yeah.
Good. So they're like little capers things, right? Savory. And they were sitting on the table, and my friend is like, why are these here? And I just had this cheeky little fit. I'm like, well, actually in Australia, it's very normal to have capers in your coffee. And I said it with a straight face, right? And he's just like, oh, no, that can't be right. I'm like, no, it's true. And because I'm an idiot, or I'm a crazy asshole, I put like 4 of them in my coffee cup and like took a sip. And then I said, oh yeah, and it's like a thing in Australia. It's like a machoism kind of thing. Mm-hmm. The more you put in there, like the better you are kind of thing. So he's like, oh, okay. And he puts like 5 of 50, a whole package almost in this coffee, and then drinks it and is like, and I'm like, and I just pissed myself laughing. And he got very angry. But anyway, that was the end of my story. Thanks for listening. Don't trick your friends unless you want to keep them. But
yeah, right now finally we are over with the chopping, and what we are doing next.
Almost done. There's an
Clap
onion.
everyone, that's the chopping done.
No, it's not
Well,
over.
thank you.
There's
Well-
onions.
There's onion to chop.
We'll edit that out. There's no clapping. We're still waiting. We're just looking at
Trent, this is live.
Oh, it is? Damn it.
Okay, how many onions we need?
Just one.
Nice. I don't need to chop.
Okay, I'm so glad we bought a whole bag though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very nice.
I'm gonna peel it first.
Yeah. But hopefully when we're done here, we have an audience today. Georgie, just give a little, maybe a sweep over the audience. Hopefully this will be a common thing from now on. Hello guys, wave to the camera. Sorry, we should have asked your permission for that. But we have an audience here, and there's some other people over there. Try not to film the empty chairs. Makes us look bad. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get more of the live audience stuff happening next time we do this, which will probably be after the summer. But hopefully we can get people trying all the food that we make today. We should have enough of it. So yeah, if you come to one of these things, you'll get some food, which is always a great way to get students doing stuff. Right?
Bribery always works.
That's how I get my student helpers to do things. Yeah, that and I pay them, but well, I don't pay them. DTU pays them, but still.
Well, you could consider that a form of
I don't
bribery.
pay you at all. What?
You could call that a form of bribery.
You could call it a form of bribery. Also, it's just trade of goods and services. Okay, so can we maybe start? We've got to wait for potatoes, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's almost boiling.
Yeah. And that one is
great.
cooking, and it's very colorful, Like when you see it, you want to eat it.
All right.
It's very nice. For me, I would like to eat it.
Well, it's gonna be even more colorful.
There's the wind.
After...
Maybe you should stand. Okay.
Can't smell a thing. That's not a good sign in these days, I guess. But
I haven't added the tomatoes yet. Okay.
Okay.
Be patient.
I mean, it's kind of like a ratatouille, right?
Yeah, I actually heard that from my boyfriend the first time I made him Lecho. He's like, this is like a deconstructed ratatouille.
Yeah, right? Hey, Morgan. Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Excellent. See, I'm getting all the French.
What would we do without Morgan?
But great. Yes, it is a bit ratatouille. I've never had a real ratatouille.
I did.
I've only seen the rat do it.
Me too.
Right?
I just watched it. It was so nice.
We're so uncultured. That's why we're starting a cooking show. It's delightful. All right. So we've got the potatoes boiling. You're doing the chopping.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're continuing to chopping.
We maybe should start.
Let's start the sauce, huh?
No.
No,
Not
let's
the
not do
sauce.
that.
The sauce is the very final thing we're gonna do
Okay.
because we have to have we have to finish boiling the potatoes. Otherwise, we can't use that water.
And we need the water for the sauce.
Exactly.
Good cooking requires planning. And also a lot of patience. See, in a normal cooking show, we go to an ad break right now. Of course, we're not a normal cooking show. So you just have to watch us do all the work. Which I'm sure is great. Hopefully you've got us on in the background in the living room somewhere. How many are we watching from home, Fedor?
Hey!
5 people. That confirm there are 5 people. Flour and butter is Ruth. See? Well, hello to the people from home.
Okay.
We're done chopping.
Yeah, finally.
You're done chopping. Okay, so now you do
and
what?
now the final touch before I start adding spices
Right.
is to add the chopped tomatoes, and you just pour them in.
Yeah.
Get it all out. It's very important. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then you mix it.
Yeah.
And just simmer it. In the meantime, you can go do your homework, write a report or something.
How long is this going to take?
Until you want the break. So around 20 minutes.
Around 20
Okay.
I'm so glad we're still going with this thing. All right, fantastic. Well, I can see over here we've started doing something to fish.
Yes,
You're breading the fish.
exactly.
So it's flour, egg,
Flour, egg, and breadcrumbs.
flour, egg, and breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
There's actually a version you could use, which is quite hot in these days, called with something called panko, which is that's that's great, Trent. That's great. And
Yes.
I can tell you that water is boiling.
Yeah. It's okay, we've now covered the potatoes with the lid that has sunken into the pot. How do you feel about melted plastic? that
Not very good.
Yeah, I think it should be fine though, right?
Could you take get it up there?
Absolutely. Can I get the interns, please?
Me?
Terrible joke. All right. I'll get this out right now. Tip number 1, always make sure the lid fits on the fucking pot before you put it on. Son of a carport. Son of a carport. That hurt a lot. Okay.
We had the tongs.
Don't interrupt my process, Mikkel. Yeah, we did have tongs, didn't we? Hang on.
Are you all right, Trent?
It's just boiling water.
This little fucker out that kills me. Here we go. Hi, and welcome to Trent's Getting a Pot Out of the Lid. It's a fantastic little sideshow here. First of all, when getting a pot out of or a lid out of a pot, you need to make sure not to burn the fuck out of yourself. So, get something long. And then you get this thing, I believe they call it tongs, and you put it in the little thingy. And then you lift it up a little bit and smash the potato in the meantime. And then you kind of just lift very so slightly there until you get it out. It's not really weird. And then we get it up there, and I just burnt myself. That hurts a little bit. Oh, I got some water going over there. It's okay. I have another shirt. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. 3-degree burns have really not hurt anyone, have they? Really? No, they haven't. Okay, let's just keep. We got some progress here. You know what? Tune back later for Trent gets a lid out of a pot. Until then, let's go over to.
So the lecho is simmering. If you want to come get a closer look on the dish, it's very colorful. We're gonna try to reduce it a bit more. But apart from the spices, it's almost done.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Trent Gets a Lid Out of a Pot. As you can see, it really just requires 2 very simple utensils. A piece of tongs, a strainer, and the third one, which I forgot to mention in the title, which is a spatula. And then you dig it out, and Bob's your Uncle, Fanny's your aunt, 1 boiling pot lid. Don't touch that, though. It's on the ground now. Here we go. Whew, that was an ordeal. All right, the potatoes are still boiling, and that's fine. I don't know if we'll get through the whole cooking of the potato, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think we will?
Yes.
They're pretty thick potatoes.
Yeah, I think like give them 20 minutes or something.
Why is everything 20 minutes? Okay, so we got 20 minutes
Yeah.
before anything happens. Is that a correct assessment?
No.
Oh,
We
okay.
are in the meantime. We are cooking the fish.
We're cooking fish. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
or frying them to be exact.
Maybe you should make it maximum, because it's not maximum, so it will take more than 20 minutes.
Yes, but when first the oil gets heated up, it can go very, very quickly, and I don't want to burn them.
Okay.
It's very
Can we get
particular.
some salt
Okay.
when you're done with the salt?
What do you want? Some ketchup?
No.
You know, it won't hurt.
Probably not. But I mean, you just say when. I'm ready with the ketchup.
Okay.
Great.
There's already tomatoes in it. Like,
Yeah. But when we will put the spices in it?
yeah, we're gonna start putting it spices now. I
Okay.
just need to figure it out. You will just like.
Yeah.
Right. So I think while we've got this stuff going on,
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce a new segment. And we're going to call it, What Would You Not Put Ketchup On From Where You're From? And we're going to go to the audience. Okay, so we're going to sit right next to, what's your name?
Roberto.
Do
Roberto.
you need help with
He said with
anything?
a horribly Australian accent.
No.
Roberto, tell me, what is your favorite dish from back home that you would never put ketchup on? Speak into my chest, that's where the microphone is.
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
White lasagna.
White lasagna.
Yeah.
Is there a different color lasagna?
Yeah, we have red lasagna and white lasagna.
Please
White
inform.
lasagna is made with bechamel. It's a kind of
Yeah.
cream.
Right.
While red lasagna is made with tomatoes and meat.
Tomatoes and meat.
Yeah.
I have never had. No, yes, I have. Okay, I put ketchup on all my lasagna. Sorry, Roberto. Thank you, Roberto. Let's go back here. And what's your name?
Martina,
Martina. Where are you from?
Italy.
Oh, goodness me. Okay. What is your favorite dish from home you would never put ketchup on?
No dish.
No dish. Don't put ketchup on any dish, or put ketchup on all the dishes.
No dish.
No dish. Okay, that was very simple. Easily. Let's do one more. Don't tell me you're from Italy.
No.
Where are you from?
Poland.
Aha! Okay. What is your favorite dish from home you would never put ketchup on?
It's pierogi. In
Yeah.
English, it's dumplings. I would
I've
never
had that.
ever put ketchup on them.
I'm sorry to say, I've also put ketchup on pierogi.
You should never do
I
that.
definitely have. Also soup dumpling, which is not Polish,
You
but
lost
still.
my respect.
That's why I get paid to be here. You know? Thank you very much. That was that segment. Let's go back to the cooking.
Yeah. Actually, we are continuing with the spices.
Yeah, while Mikkel is adding pepper to his fish, I added some salt, a little bit of chili powder, because you know it's tomatoes. You can make it as spicy as your salsa. And I'm gonna wait for the pepper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The pepper is here.
And I really have to be very, very careful because
Yeah.
there's already chili in it.
Yeah.
And the wind is blowing out the pepper, so that's good.
Yeah, I just remember, like in Turkey, when we are cooking a dish, we always put just a little bit sugar if it's a salty dish, and if it's a dessert, we always put just a little bit salt to balance it.
So I think you got that reversed, don't you?
No, but like it's kind of like bringing some flavor and balancing it, kind of like makes it exciting. So I would put maybe a little bit like sugar, just a little bit sugar in it.
I would put, I don't know, cardamom or something.
No.
Make it exciting. You know.
It's already exciting without your additives, Trent.
I mean, this is the unlucky table. I feel.
No
What a
harm, no
terrible-
foul. No fish were harmed during filming of this.
That is a blatant lie. You're dead on the pan.
A disclaimer:
No,
all
that
the
was
fish,
before we
all the
started
fish in this
That's
program
true.
are dead.
Already.
But yep. I think the fish is getting there.
Yeah, we are. They just have to get a little bit more, but if I can see they're getting just that fine golden crust here on the side.
And how do we know when a fish is? Because I find that's one of the hardest things to figure out is when a fish is cooked. I always overdo the fucker.
Well, with this, you just have to look for this beautiful brown golden crust.
Beautiful brown golden crust. See, that's what
Yeah.
I think I have. So
And
is
you see-
that right?
No, this is actually a little bit underdone.
So you did it wrong.
We can
You're
always
fired,
turn.
Mikkel.
We can always turn it once more later. That's not a big issue.
So it's not like a steak where you only turn it once.
Now,
Twice.
it's not. Though, if you're having a very uneven crust, something can fall off. You turn too many times, so you don't want to overdo it. But this is fine. This is a nice steady crust.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So let's imagine that you were actually working on the report and you came with a brilliant title, and of course you need to take a break because you come back to your Lecho and you gotta taste it if you spice it up correctly. And I'm just gonna give it a nice blow. And maybe you should get a spoon too. So
Okay.
so you can tell me, but
Oh, it's tasting. Hang on. That's totally my game.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I also take some from the like veggies?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Not from the sausages, right?
Yes.
It will be too much.
Of course.
Oh, Trent.
Oh, that was quick. That's why they're called
Yes.
aprons, because they ape.
Yep. It is quite spicy.
I haven't tasted it yet.
And it's also on a sweeter end. But let me tell you what you think.
Let you tell me what I think.
Let me tell you what you think. Oh.
Let me.
Never mind.
Why don't you tell me what I think?
Okay.
No,
Claudia?
the sun has been very harsh today.
Oh, that's very lecho.
You know it.
Super lecho.
You know it.
I think it's very nice.
Yeah.
I think there is no need to add
that's
sugar
better
in it.
aftertaste.
No. Let's just let it simmer so it can reduce.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're back to writing the report.
But actually, it's kind of like very, very easy. And I think it will be very nice combined. It will combine with Turkish rice very nicely.
Yeah.
Already done Turkish rice.
Yeah, but it will be very nice next to that.
Um,
And it's also very easy. You can also watch
Yeah.
our previous episodes.
yeah. You can eat it with rice, as you just suggested.
Yeah.
Back at home, I would eat it with potatoes
Yeah.
or barley. Or if you're too lazy to cook extras and you already use your only pot you have in the dorm kitchen, you can also eat it with bread.
Right. So we're just staring at fish over here.
Yeah.
It's
See,
super fun.
now we're talking golden crust here.
Okay, so I don't know, can we get a zoom of that? Is it possible to get can we get in on that fish there?
It is a beautiful.
Feels so professional. Can we just get a close-up of the fish, please, Georgie? Thank you so much.
This one needs a little bit
So
more.
we're looking for this beautiful golden crust right here, says Mikkel. And then we know the fish is...
Yes. This
golden.
one is almost done. This one needs a little bit more work.
Okay, good. Okay, what's the next step after the fish? Because if we're almost done there, then what do we need?
Yes. Well, then we're gonna make more fish. I know, exciting, right?
Doing great stuff over here.
But after that, when the potatoes are done, we're gonna start on the sauce.
Great. Excellent, can't wait. And over there, we're still going.
Yeah. Waiting.
You are welcome to come in with your ketchup if you want.
Am I allowed to?
Yes.
Like it'll help the thing?
It won't change the taste. There's already tomatoes in it. But you know, for the pictures, I can pretend that I'm getting mad. If
If it adds.
For the
I mean, this is... Ketchup is an underrated condiment. Why, you ask? Because ketchup is just like... it originated in France. The epitome of...
That's too much.
The epitome of good taste,
fine.
right?
It's okay.
People often say about ketchup it's uncultured, right? But I say to them, no, it is not uncultured.
Ketchup on my pasta.
Would you like some ketchup on your
I'm
pasta?
open-minded. I want to.
Let's give it a go. This is some great audio.
What has the world come to?
Seen it here first, folks. Italian willingly put ketchup on his pasta. Also, open-mindedness is great. You know what? I have a spare room. You can just stay at my place, no problem.
Claim.
What?
Claim or in Danish, bålfanger is what we say in the study start if you say something and we would like to see that happen.
Claim.
Claim.
It's like the word yeet.
No, not at all.
No, yeet is when you cook something and it's really not good and it's not edible, then you yeet it out.
I still don't get yeet. I don't get it. I'm over 30. I'm allowed not to get yeet, but what the fuck does yeet actually mean? Do you throw? Is it throwing
Yeah,
something?
it's throwing the like.
But what about that SNL skit where he's going like yeet, screech, and such?
I'm not very.
You're
best.
too young for SNL. Apparently. It's only for old people.
Fair enough. Fair
Great.
enough.
So anyway, this looks great after I put the ketchup in it.
I just stirred it in. You can't see anything. You can also taste it.
It's slightly redder, and I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You can also taste it if how much of a difference it made.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Which was mine? Does it matter?
Yeah, I think that was yours.
Okay. So I'm thinking maybe we do the rest of the fish after the recording, for time's sake. And then we'll continue with these two, and then the potato, and then we'll start doing the sauce. I think then we'll do a nice plate up in about 10 minutes. What do you reckon?
Well, it's gonna be.
Yes, Trent, that's a great idea. I know.
Well, okay. We do have a heat source or more over there, so we can do that.
Yeah.
If you could see over here, the first fish is actually done, and it has this beautiful golden crust I was talking about.
It does. It is one of the best dead fish I've ever seen. It almost looks very lively.
Actually, we have a heat source here, so we can maybe also continue with the other fishes here. So it will.
We can do that.
Okay.
If Mikkel subscribes to it.
If we got like when the potatoes are done, we are gonna need another heat source for the sauce.
Great. So we just wait.
Okay.
We won't do any more fish just yet.
Okay.
We'll keep this as our fish supply.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. But as many people have perhaps if you've been at introduction week and heard my talk, you will know that I did the ultimate Danish sacrilege at Christmas time with this. So at Denmark, at Christmas time, you have the duck and the potatoes and the fucking what's it called sausage and all that stuff. And my mom brought me up, right? Okay, so I ate every single thing without anything. And then at the end, I'm like, for like the third helping, I'm like, hey, can I have some ketchup, please? And it was at an ex-girlfriend's family Christmas thing. And the whole table, the whole table went silent. I kid you not. I'm not even being dramatic. It went silent. And everyone just sort of like looked down at their fucking plate. And then the grandma was like, why do you want ketchup? I'm like, oh, it's just to, it tastes good. I'm like, what are you going to have it on? I'm like, the duck. No. And the poor old biddy nearly had a heart attack. But I mean, it took me about 20 minutes, right? Apropos of the cultural stuff that I usually go on about, right? One of the only reason I was allowed to do the ketchup on the duck. In the end, I got my will. But because I was like, well, if we argue from the point that I'm used to something different from you, then it should be allowed for me to do something else. That's the only reason they allowed me to do it. What would have been better is if they were a bit more like, you know what, if that's something you should try, then we'd like to try it. In a sense, if I convince them in a different way, right? But anyway, that was my ketchup and duck story.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I almost missed the chopping.
Oh, yeah. It was very interesting, as much as your stories.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do have the stories. Okay.
Yeah.
I think what we need to do now is start going on with the sauce, because this is all this needs to do now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just writing your report and you come in every sentence to check in on it.
Okay, and then spill stuff. Fantastic. Great. So,
Yes.
let's. I'll take that, and then we'll bring on the other pan over here.
Yes.
For the we got a pot. I'm sorry. Let's put that there. Okay. Now here comes the cream to the cream of Danish cuisine, and that is a opbagt sauce or a roux, or as we got confirmed it was called a roux, right? Fedor? Good. Yep. Or as they say in French, roux. Which I believe is the same. Where you put flour and milk in a thing. And Mikkel's wondering over there. What you missing?
A knife for the
Knife we have.
We have two here.
Okay.
Want to use?
That's maybe a bit excessive.
I think it's what we have though. Otherwise, you know what? Go outside the box. Use a spoon.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Go crazy, Mikkel.
Just
Don't tell anyone you did it, but do it anyway.
I think the first step here is actually going to be a little bit faster because we're out here in the very nice weather. So the butter is almost melted on its own. We might want to see this go to a fridge in the nearby future.
Yes. Or we'll just make some more room.
So are we waiting for the water to be
to evaporate.
Okay.
Yeah, to reduce as much. So
Yeah.
you don't eat a tomato soup with squash pieces on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over here to the roux.
Tomato ketchup.
Yes. So
Made it good.
now we have the butter nice and boiled.
Yep.
And then we're gonna add
Flour?
Flour, yes. And I'm not very confident on adding with that spoon.
Yeah, if you just stand here, the smell is coming here. See?
It's also a very summer dish. All the veggies are fresh.
And then you beat the crap out of that, right? You just go,
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, actually, I just thought that like you can put this like cream cheese on top of the bread.
Yeah.
And then a little bit from the sauce, use it as a
Oh
sauce.
God, yeah.
Yeah, now I'm hungry.
We're going to take away from your bread talk for 1 second. Because we're making a roux. Okay.
Oh, exciting!
damn roux.
Exciting!
Okay, so we just mixed the butter in with the flour. He just mixed the butter in with the flour, guys. Okay, here we go. Here's the
And
next
we
bit.
want to like try to see if we can get as many lumps out as possible during this stage.
Mhm, like fluffing a pillow.
Yes, exactly.
Strange reference. But...
Just fluff it up.
And actually, now it's actually like quite liquid. That will change when we add water. I know it's actually quite weird, but the water is a lot hotter than this, and it will make the protein nature and get us all this dough-like texture. And then we're slowly gonna add more and more water until we get it liquid again.
Okay. You know the chemical thingies and everything.
Yes, I do study biology.
Well, that would make sense quite a lot. Yes. But if people in the audience, if you need to go because of classes, we won't hold it against you. So we won't get distracted by you leaving. I don't think you were thinking about that anyway. You just would have fucking left. But just want to know it's okay. Great. So it's now become little glubby things, right?
Yes.
So how many people have made a roux before? Like, have you made a roux?
No.
No? How about in the audience? Hands? Roux?
Or maybe
Good.
I tried doing it but never succeeded.
I made my first successful one making the lasagna, which I think you classified as a white lasagna, with the bechamel.
Bechamel.
With the Becky mail. Got the Becky mail sauce in there. A little heavy Australian there. Put a bit of the Becky in the fucking in the shit there, and you fucking bake it up, and it's great.
Mate.
Yes, don't try. It's okay. No, that's when I made the first successful one, making
Nice.
a thing. I have this cookbook at home called Mikkel's doing great over there. I have this cookbook at home called The Silver Spoon, which you don't know what that is. I'm pointing at the Italians over here. The Silver Spoon? No.
No?
It's apparently, we were told, because we're not Italian, that it was the cookbook every Italian household has. It's probably a lie, being that everyone's looking at me very blankly. But that's where I made my first lasagna with the thing, and I followed it like step by step.
Yeah.
Fucking delicious, because there was no garlic in it for some reason.
What?
Yeah. Not in this recipe. And I'm
What?
like, this can't be good. But it was freaking amazing. Either that or I skipped the garlic. Maybe I missed that. Because it still seems wrong to me, but I'm pretty sure it had no garlic.
Stuff happen.
Yeah, okay, we're getting a confirmation. Garlic is not a normal thing for some. Yeah, there you go, yeah. See, again, I think it's sort of like an Anglo-Saxon thing. Just whack fucking garlic in everything, and it tastes good, right? I mean, that's, yeah. Also an Indian thing, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we are still beating the shit out of the
It looks... I don't know how to...
I wonder how it looks. Oh.
Well, it's kind of like, imagine if you threw something up, then mix flour with it.
That's not very,
That's what it kind of... It's got this weird, like, floaty thing.
Have fun with that.
That's not very appetizing.
No, it's not. It's gonna be
It'll
better.
get better, though.
It-
Hey,
But you can't just refer to puke while cooking.
Clearly, madam, you've never been to Sydney. Great. Okay, and how long should you go about doing that? Till it gets brown?
No, we definitely don't want it to get brown. Oh, that's just the potatoes being done there.
Oh, look at you being all good. Okay, so they are done, are they?
Yeah, it should be.
They're pretty done. Can I get a colander? Yeah. That fella, no, a colander. No. A colander. You're very cold. So cold. Colander. A colander. A thing you drain water from.
We don't want to drain all the water just yet. We're still gonna need.
Why you
colander.
bamboozle me like that?
Sorry, that was terrible. So okay, that's right. You want to use the water,
Yes.
don't you? Yeah.
So I've just turned down the water and to.
Very good. Okay, then we just leave the potatoes. But should I fish some potatoes out for you?
You can do that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's in the blood. I gotta.
Yes, great.
Are you? Yeah, I didn't think you would.
No.
I'm gonna.
Use this one.
Huh?
I used it for.
Can you just grab that for me? Yes. Thank you. Okay, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the central element of all Danish cuisine, the humble potato. Now, I say that with a slight amount of sarcasm, but
It's also true.
But you can do a lot of shit with potatoes.
And Danes sound like they have the potato mouth when they talk.
What?
Danes sound like they have a potato mouth when they talk.
A whole packet.
Yeah.
They do this. They do say
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, and they
Why are you throwing
barely
my
they
potato?
barely move their mouths, which is
Are you just gonna stand there
fascinating.
and take all that, that talk there about those things for you?
Well, it's not exactly new,
Mm.
and it's just not getting there.
It's doing great. Looks delightful.
No, it's not. It's actually quite.
But don't worry, we'll eat whatever you serve us.
Yeah, it's might gotta get a little bit lumpy, and
So good.
What do you think about Danish language?
What do I think about Danish language? We'll go to a break. No, Danish language is it's difficult to pronounce, but grammatically I think it's not so bad. So I think you get that saying all like Danish is one of the hardest languages in the world. I don't know if that's true. I think it's getting your tongue around the vowels, right? What's the one I always have trouble with still? After 15 years, I still have trouble with root, as in a root in the ground, counsel, as in I'm counseling you, and red. Red? Well,
red and root explains it because it's almost the same.
yeah, but it's like,
isn't it the same?
well, yeah. Anyone walking past that's never heard Danish is like, these people have got food poisoning. What is going But yeah, I think pronunciation's the worst bit. Otherwise, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
there,
Fine,
It'll
it's
do.
Fine.
There's
Insert the "it's fine" meme.
though there many people also express trouble with spelling. There's lots of seemingly nonsensical ways to spell things.
Yeah, well, you only pronounce half of the fucking thing, like when you say it.
Yes. And
What's the good morning?
Oh,
Yeah.
I would.
Morn?
Where's the fucking G? Where'd it go? Why is it not pronounced?
I'll do you one better. I would never spell 𝐂𝐻𝐵 the way it's spelled.
Yeah, it's That's true. But Polish, though, I would say that's harder than Danish to pronounce.
Oh, because we pronounce everything. Danes skip half the letters.
It's also the stunted, not stunted. It's called a guttural stop, I think, where you have the short T's, and so I tried to learn Lithuanian once. That was a disaster. There's the way you pronounce T's. So if you're pronouncing a T in English, you would have this airiness to it. But if you're speaking Lithuanian or several other Slavic languages, you have this like stop. You don't breathe out, which I found was really hard to recreate. Although the trick is say stop 3 times. Stop, stop, stop.
Yeah.
Top, 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 top. Up, top, top, da, da, da. There you go. How's our roux?
it's recovering. It's recovering.
Great. I'm going to take an executive decision here. Let's start serving your thing.
Yes.
Do you think it's servable?
Yes, it is.
Great.
It was just simmering and reducing. I'll cut the bread in the meantime.
Yeah. We actually need more stuff.
Should I I bring plastic plates from the room?
Do we have plastic plates? Yes, please. And some
And
more
we have
of
also
these.
glasses, like plastic glasses.
Oh, just plastic plates. And some more of these would be great.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. So Merve is just going to backstage to get some things.
Yeah.
We are going a little overtime, I know, but if you're watching us here or anywhere else, then if you're still with us, then great. If not, then have fun in class. Great. And I want to take the opportunity also, if there's anyone watching or here that would like to be a part of this, the next one, I think we haven't talked about when it will be, but hopefully it'll be in the autumn. So either in August or, no, not August, because you guys are somewhere else. Probably in, what's after August? September. Thank you. Probably in September. So if you do want to be a part of this cooking show, then either as a, well, pretty much as a cook, then let us know. Usually I have my co-host Nick with us, and we have a bit more fun on stage, but he unfortunately couldn't be with us. But yeah, if you want to be a part of that, let us know. Send us an email at carbon@dtu.dk. And we're happy to have you. We've had so far Indian, Turkish, Polish,
With
Danish.
Hungarian with a Polish twist, so I don't get the.
And I guess we also have a bit of French here.
Well, a roux. A roux. Very good.
I don't think this is going to be good.
It doesn't matter. They can't taste it off camera. That's the good thing about a cooking show. Yeah.
Just keeps on clumping and I can't get it out.
You know, cooking shows be like, it's completely inedible, but it looks all right.
Like the fish is great. The fish is great, and I just don't know what's happening with this sauce.
We're going to have to comfort Mikkel after this, I can feel. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere.
Mikkel's happy. Mikkel's getting happy.
Yes, now we're getting somewhere.
Putting on the plates.
We're waiting for some plastic plates
Yes.
at the moment. But hey, tell us a funny story.
Okay, a cooking-related story. My boyfriend, a Dane, he's gone to family dinner back to my house with my family, and you know, my mom always likes to burn stuff for herself because, well, we like burnt all the burnt corners from the cake or some extra burnt meat, and my boyfriend noticed it and he asked, what happened? Did you forget to turn it? And I'm like, no, it's okay. It's on purpose. And he's like, but why? Burnt is not a spice. And everyone that has heard that story has only ever disagreed with him. Because burnt indeed is a spice. Only Danes disagree. I see confusion from the Danes.
Why would you ever burn stuff?
Because it tastes great.
No, it tastes like fucking carbon.
Now we give you 10 crowns for saying the name and the title. Yeah.
Now we're getting somewhere. This is really
Great.
has.
We've got a little bit of food. We'll try and spread it around as much as possible. We'd love you all to try what's up here. Merve and oh my God, Claudia.
What is my name?
Claudia. Claudia. Barbara and Claudia. Oh my God.
No. Merve and Claudia. Come on. It's not that hard.
Let's just skip to the part where we serve food.
Yeah.
Person one over here will serve food on a plate. And if there's we'll hopefully make enough to go around. If there's not, bear with us. But just a little bit on each plate for trying. Cut your bread into small cubes. Homemade bread. Looking forward to tasting that. And please try some. Let us know what you think.
Trent, would you mind passing me the milk?
I would love to. There is the milk.
Oh,
Thank you.
We can grab 4 pounds of spoon.
Now,
We unfortunately don't have.
if we could get the camera over here, you would see a beautiful sauce. Simply magnificent.
Simply magnificent.
Yes.
Simply magnificent.
This was saved from a coma, and now it is really nice, beautiful, and creamy. And yeah, I'm actually quite amazed.
That's good, Mikkel. I'm glad you're amazed with your sauce.
It was like on life support, and its family were always like, I don't think it will ever wake up. We should turn it off, and then we did, and then it's just like, but then miraculously it didn't die.
Yeah.
And now he's back, he's healthy, and he's beautiful.
And an example, perhaps, of Danish humor you come with there, which is borderline inappropriate. But yes. So also, could you please serve me up one so we can try
do you not want
as
a
well?
fork?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You're being so cheeky.
Spoon.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Mikkel, while you continue with
Any
the sauce there.
other volunteers for the Lecho? Thank you. Glad to hear that.
You stole my line.
You need to come up
Okay.
with something more creative.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Actually very hot. That is actually really good. You can really taste the ketchup.
I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was afraid it would be all that, sometimes you just throw vegetables together and you mush them and they just become this mushy vegetable
Yeah.
taste. But this doesn't. This kind of
No, the bell peppers don't get so mushy. So the squash only goes into like puree, and then you put you sometimes use cauliflower if you want a bit more structure.
cauliflower.
Yeah, or
that
broccoli.
makes me fart terribly. I can't have cauliflower.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. But
Yeah.
And my
for our
girlfriend.
viewers,
No.
if you like cauliflower, you can also put it inside. Any veggies, basically.
No, that works.
Yeah. Actually, there is a sweet taste in it,
Ketchup.
like sugary. Oh, okay.
I think it's the ketchup.
Okay.
I can confirm there is sugar in ketchup.
Yeah, I think so too.
Quite a lot. That's why I like it. Great. So, I would call that a success. Pretty
Thank
much.
you.
While we're waiting for Mikkel, let's sign off over here for you
Yeah.
and say thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. It's been a pleasure. And spread the word if anyone you know wants to join us. Otherwise, this was a really nice dish. We'll put the recipe up. You've sent it to us.
Yes.
We'll put it on the on our Facebook group. Right? Yeah, I'm looking at one of 𝐂𝐴𝐵's employees, but he's distracted. Yes, it'll be on our Facebook page with a recipe, and people can make it at home. Just in case, if I wanted to get involved in study start, I guess on the bachelor level with you guys,
Yeah.
how would I do that? What would I do to get involved?
You can become a vector. We're gonna look for winter vectors in September, October-ish. You can also become a bum. That's gonna be a bit later.
A what?
A bum, a kitchen crew.
Call that a bum, do we?
Yeah,
Okay.
we call it a bum from Danish.
Okay.
We borrow a lot of words in the study start.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And who would I write to figure that out?
Just find CAPS. There's a Facebook page called CAPS DTU.
Yeah, and that's KAB, right?
That's KAB, like on my logo.
KAB. Kilo Alpha Beta.
Yes.
Right? Sierra.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, caps.
If you want to become a part of the study start, just write us and we'll answer your questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
Let's
you.
give her a round of applause and collaborate. Very good. All right, here we go. Where did we get to with the sauce over here? We have now entered parsley. land.
Yes, we have, and it's actually pretty much ready to serve. So
Great. Well, that is perfect timing. I'll let you plate up. You are the master here. So we have our fish. Here it is.
yes. Just need a potato.
Yes, you have several to choose from. Okay, so we didn't see the parsley go in, but basically you just added the parsley and stirred,
Yes.
right?
It's not that difficult.
No. Okay. Except that you stood with the sauce for about 10 minutes.
Yes.
It seems difficult to me.
Yes, it requires a lot of work, but
Okay. But I can say it pays off, right?
usually it requires less work. I am not exactly sure why it was so difficult this time, but well, it's saved.
Great. Plate up for us. Let's see what it looks like.
Yes, and I really should have like a knife and a fork or something.
Well, you got a knife right there. It's not clean, but it'll have to do. And we did have a fork over here. Here we go. Unclean fork.
there, and then.
All right. So you put the sauce on the potato, not the fish.
Yes.
Okay.
This.
This is for me to taste?
Yes. And
Wonderful. Okay, there we go.
I will recommend you eating it with a fork or a spoon and a knife, because otherwise it's gonna get really messy.
Well, I'm the king of messy. It's fine. Okay, so this is the labor of your love for the better part of an hour, actually.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to try le patato with the parsley sauce. It's surprisingly good. I hate parsley, but that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah, you don't get the parsleyness. And some rosbitter. Yep, tastes like that's really good crumb, actually.
It is.
I'll give you kudos there.
It's really the flour really like drives it home. You can do it without the flour. It will just be a little more crumbly, a little less dense.
I mean, you can really feel the crunchiness there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually really nice. All right, Mikkel. Thank you for slaving over a hot stove for us for the better part of an hour and a bit. It's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And as with Claudia, we're going to put your recipe on the Facebook page. Until then, if I want to be part of PF International, what do I do?
Well, you can write an email to pf@international.dk and say, hey, I want to be part of International Committee, and we'll do the rest for you.
Great. And what can you do in International Committee? Can I create events, or what's my deal?
Yes, we have once hosted karaoke. If anyone has been here for a bit longer time, before Corona, they would remember the international karaoke, which was great. We had all sorts of things. I was trying to sing Gangnam Style back then.
That would have been an interesting sight.
Yes,
Mikkel.
it was. I was
Yes.
luckily helped out by a Korean.
That always helps.
That
All right,
helps
mate.
a lot.
Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll catch you next time, hopefully. So that's it from us. Thank you for joining us. That was a really long fucking program with a lot of dead air, but that's how we do it here in Carbon. So join us next time, hopefully in the new semester. And if you want to be part of the program, then just throw us an email, and we gladly have you on board. We're also opening up for audiences in the new semester. So we'd love a few more people around, and we'll get some more audience interaction going. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, sunny day.
Yay!